Hey everybody, it's Amanda and Mom, making a mess. So happy spring planting. It is indoor sowing. I believe it's indoor sowing where we are, but I wish I could tell you if we're 6B or 7A, because at this point climate change is so changey that that's up for debate. So it's February, middle of February. So we are starting indoor seeds. Everything that can be started indoors. Last year I tried to do seed tests, and because of Missouri being Missouri and my house being almost 100 years old, I just got a lot of moldy paper towels and I did not have any seed starts happen. So if you don't know about starting seeds indoors, you need a container. And you don't have to spend money on containers. Those are all the berry containers that we saved, I don't know, 5 years ago that have been in the garage since then. There's little paper planter pots that come for your Ace or wherever you get them. We had a sleeve of those. I got another sleeve. And then it turns out we've just got like way more than we thought. We're like, oh, we planted everything and everything. What else do we need to plant? So you might recognize the kiddie pool from the snow treasure dig game at the Christmas. Was it Christmas market?
Yes.
At the Christmas market. So at Lost Hill Lake. Now it's the baby planter for our little seedlings. So what is it? In 2 weeks we're gonna reseed everything that we still have seeds for and add more seeds on top of these seeds.
No, they'll be replanted in a separate pot.
Okay.
But you seed every 2 to 3 weeks so that everything doesn't need to be harvested at the same time, and then that's all you eat for a month.
So
you
we're
want to be able to have a longer harvest season.
Okay.
So you don't plant 10 yellow peppers. You plant 3
at a time and space them out. So in 2 weeks we'll come back and do some more. We have some more sleeves that you can see back there. This is literally a shower curtain inside of the kiddie pool that I dumpster dived. So to make sure it doesn't leak through. There's no, like, you probably need soil and you probably need seeds, but you probably...
Your library gives away free seeds.
What?
Well, the library, some libraries have seed banks. They give away free seeds.
There you go. So you really just need some potting soil or some seed starting soil. This is seed starting soil.
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace, Freebie. There's a lot of places giving stuff away. Please don't spend a whole bunch of money on garden shit. Like, these are reused grape and berry containers. That's an old shower curtain liner.
You could use a cardboard box and a plastic bag, trash bag.
There you go, plastic trash bag, line a cardboard box, get you some dirt in there, pop some seeds, spray it with water. Why is Mom spraying it like it's a lady with a perm?
Because these are very delicate. We've just put the seeds in the top, and they're at the very top, and you want them to germinate. You want them to get enough moisture so they're like, oh!
So they wake up.
I'm gonna grow.
We haven't
soaked any of them.
We haven't soaked our seeds, so it's gonna just be intensive watering. We have it by this window. Obviously it's snowing outside today. That's supposed to go away next week. March is supposed to have low 50s as the highs for us.
You gonna tell them about the outside garden?
I can. So what else? Do we need to keep this warm? Like, what do you, if you had a kiddie pool full of seeds, what's the care for getting going there, Carl?
They need to be warm and they need to stay watered. If you're only going to top water, they probably need to be misted every day.
Every day.
Every day. You don't just plant them and leave them unless you're going to long soak them. But because there's seeds in there at the top, they don't have roots yet. They're not going to drink from down here. They need to be right here. Oop, or right there.
I think we may have just
planted
some more. So planted some stuff in some stuff. Things that we're doing a lot of back there is a whole thing of lavender and mint. Our mint was around for 4 or 5 years. They are prolific.
Survive the winter.
Mint is considered a nuisance plant because it will take over if you're not careful. So plant it in a pot. Even if you start it in a little pot and you want to put it somewhere outdoors, for the love of everybody, don't put it in the actual outside dirt. Please have it in some kind of container, because whatever size container you have is going to fill it up. It's prolific.
And these little containers, you can actually, we just pop.
We'll put the lid.
What they were, but
Yep.
then you can
Put
put
the
this
lid
down, and it makes a little.
And it's a little wormy. It's a little itty bitty greenhouse.
Warm and the moisture evaporates and goes back
So this
down.
is not how our dining table is going to stay. That's our project table that pretty much stays up there for whatever, from spring to fall, depending on what we got going on. Sometimes you've probably seen it out on Crystal Clear Downloads when I was working on the ingredients for the bath teas. So there's a box of lemon rind back there that I need to process. That's part of bath tea. So that's just our like project table, basically. Tools, you can use a serving spoon, man. You don't have to buy a spade. I don't know how many serving spoons we've used in this house to dig.
There's probably one out.
Probably a couple out there in the sunroom right now. Like, please don't buy crap. It's way more important to have a friend who already has a green thumb. Go to your library and ask about the seed library and what's for free. Go to, like, use the reuse and upcycling pyramid to your advantage. Because free food is supposed to be cheaper and more free. And then that's my sunshine lamp. I have issues to figure out with the breakers and the plugs and things in this house to be able to run that. But I don't think, do we need light on them? Do we put a light cycle on them, or do we wait for them to pop up? This is my first time forcing seeds indoors because last year's it didn't work. They need to be warm, so do I need to program the lamp to be on?
That would help.
Okay. Does it need a heating pad?
The thing is, I don't know how much heat is going to get through
all that, because that's like quarter folded, so that's like 4 sheets plus a pool. So we're going to set up the sunshine lamp to do a 12-hour cycle because it's February, so it's dark outside. It'll take care of itself. It has a little knobby. That's the only thing on the table that I have that's fancy, but that's because I had African violets at one time and they're very high maintenance. So that was a little $15 thing that I already had. So
like so let's talk about money wise. So let's say I had the peppers and I planted 4 seeds, green peppers, bell peppers, whatever. 4 of them come up, maybe even 2 of them come up. I've spent maybe 2 from seeds that I buy. Maybe I spent $2.50. You might spend $3.99 now to get a package of seeds for green peppers. But 2 of those plants come up, and they're going, if you take care of them correctly, take off the bottom leaves, make sure there's enough ventilation, make sure they're watered, have all the nutrients they need. They're going to make dozens of peppers. Those 2 plants are going to make dozens of peppers. And if you sell
or trade
2 of those peppers, I was just at Whole Foods, and organic peppers were $2.49 to $2.99 a piece.
So if you have any plants that like you have too many plants that you can sell, you can just pop it on Facebook Marketplace for a neighbor who's interested, and now you've already 400%ed your money.
You made your money
back on top of the seeds, and you still have some growing at home. So this is, we figured it out. We did the math for you. I am a 5th generation gardener in our family. It used to be, back 5 generations ago, was like, that's how you had food to eat. Like, they didn't have, canned green beans were not 69 cents or whatever, back then. So now it is back to empowering ourselves and our neighbors to have veggies, because last year I had a lot of people interested in cucumber when there was that cucumber recall, because my cucumber plant was about the size of this table.
It was
prolific. So part of regenerative resistance is having your own food and bartering with your neighbors and being independent for as many forms of food and produce as you can.
And protect your table.
And protect grandma's table. Okay. So we're at 9.5 minutes. I guess I could switch it around. I could spill the tea, you guys. I feel so fancy. What kind of seeds? So mostly I think it was heirloom seeds. That's why Mom said, sorry, that's not good. We try to mostly use heirloom seeds, but over the years there's been different Like that one says organic non-GMO, which that was from a year when that actually meant something in the world before they were allowed.
Now.
It doesn't mean anymore.
I don't think anybody
before they were allowed to lie about that.
The FDA changed their regulations.
Mom?
The FDA changed their regulations. If it's organic, it doesn't necessarily mean it's organic. They can put anything in it they want. They literally can now take human vaccines and put it in your meat.
In your beef.
And they can basically put anything they want in anything they want because there's no regulation to stop them. So if it says non-GMO,
it's not.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You literally have to go back to the companies who care, like the homegrown heirloom seeds, or a person who, you know, find your local weird garden lady or queer. Find somebody who already was growing stuff last year. Make friends with them. Invite yourself over. Be like, hey, I can help weed. You got when you out here Saturdays. So speaking of which, all of the Saturdays in March, if you are in the St. Louis area, you need to comment under this video. If there was ever a video you needed to comment under, it's this one. To get connected, because we're in the St. Louis area, and every Saturday in March, we are going to have a garden party. It's not that kind of garden, all right? It's this kind of garden out front, because I am such a badass gardener. Mom and I are so in action about our commitment to food sovereignty and food independence that we have our first hater. Who, me? Yesterday, some wonderful folks from the city woke me up out of my bed at 9:30 in the morning, which is a normal time to be up and around, but you know how. If you're a normal person,
you don't have insomnia.
If you haven't had insomnia for 20 years of your life. So they got me up out of my bed and said that there had been complaints, plural. I don't know if that means the same person complained over and over again, or if multiple people complained about the front garden. So basically,
you go show them out the window.
Field trip. So we got the mulch delivered. I know we posted about that when it happened. And that was right around when Dad couldn't drive. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to be here to be gardening. So the mulch, the 30 cubits, I'm a genius. The 30 yards of mulch, it's very big. See that? That's the sidewalk, and that's the pile of mulch. That's been there since September when we got it delivered. And I've been slowly chipping away at it to cover the hugels. We've been slowly chipping away at it to cover the hugels. But it's me and Mom, so it's two chronic pain, insomnia, disabled ladies trying their best to do that on top of everything else. At a time when there was a lot of everything else, it got really complicated. So I explained that, and because the 3 hugels are out there, and hugel 3 is unfinished still, it was perfect. I literally just gave a lecture on hugel culture and was like, this is this layer, then there's going to be dirt. At the end, it's going to be 3 beautiful raised beds with flowers and vegetables and herbs, and there's going to be a little, tiny little, cute little fence around it. So I understand where they're coming from. September, October, so let's say October, November, December, January, and now we're in February. It's been there for a while. However, it has continued to change shape and size. So, yeah, that technically counts as like outdoor storage because it's just been a pile of mulch in the front yard. So I understand that. And then I guess somebody said something about trash, which if you know from Kill the Lawn, which we're gonna revisit the Kill the Lawn series soon. We sheet mulch with boxes. We reuse our boxes. I don't know if you can, there's snow out, but so we do a layer of boxes on top of the grass, and then we do the mulch to cover up the grass so it doesn't come back up. And it's gonna be hopefully 6 inches deep because that's what it takes to kill a lawn, because we want it to be a permanent, easy, low effort grow bed garden that we don't have to mow or weed whack. If you have a lawn and you're mowing and you're releasing CO2 into the air and hurting the environment and spending money, that's not something you have to keep doing. Did you know that? Wow, we can thank the French nobility for making up that that's normal, because it's not. It's not normal to just have a yard with nothing in it, that it doesn't benefit anything other than looking good. So I get to go explain that to whoever the ordinance person is at my hometown, or at my city. And they said, like, it'll be fine, but you just have to go explain yourself. So I'm gonna do that. And in the meantime, that inspired me to reach out for more community and more help. I don't know of anybody who is awake and aware of the current situation in the world who doesn't feel stuck about it. And one of the things that Mom and I have both felt stuck about is, I just wish the garden was done already. Like, it's something we want to do, but it's not something that we've been able to get to do by ourselves. So after the city people visited, I was like, oh, duh, what if I create the possibility that neighbors can come over and help with gardening? So every Saturday in March from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Central Time, if you're in the St. Louis area, please comment or message me, or however that works, because we will feed you. We're gonna have a crowd pleaser meal every weekend. You have to vote 2 weeks ahead for which dish we're picking. We'll probably, Mom says it's gonna eat at 3, so it's gonna be like an early dinner.
Well, or 2. You know, people are gonna eat at noon and then come here at 1.
Right.
And we'll work and...
So we're paying people to show up and help with the garden by feeding everybody.
And giving a lunch. You're giving a luncheon.
It's going to be a lunch and learn style. How to garden. This is a Hugel garden. This is what it takes to compost. These are the different kinds of compost. Here's the city ordinances about compost, because actually I did read the city ordinances before I ever touched a leaf in my front yard. So I know that the finished product will be in accordance with their expectations. What happened was, instead of having the communication skills to be an adult and knock on the door or leave me a note and say, hey, what's going on with your yard? We're worried about you, or it looks like trash, or we hate how it looks, they went straight to the city and complained and wasted a bunch of time. Because after I explained it, both of those nice folks were like, oh yeah, well that makes total sense. That's fine. It's just, you know, it took longer than I thought it would, and then winter set in. And then one of the people was like, I love vegetables, and gave me a card, like he's interested. So if you're in the St. Louis area, garden parties, lunch and learn, every Saturday in March, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. You have to comment to get the address, and then I will get in touch with you, and you have to vote on the food to count as a confirmed RSVP. Anything else, Mom? All right.
No, I don't think so.
Don't forget, you are the magic, and gardening is an act of resistance. So is rest. So is existing with joy. So is self-care. So y'all take care, and we will update you soon about the indoor-outdoor mulch pile garden. Okay, bye.